So I'm looking at all of the major media outlets, all of the major news outlets, and they're all pretty much saying the same thing, that this is the end of the Assad regime. This is the end of the Assad government, and the rebels have taken over. And we all know what this means. It's very simple. It's very obvious. It means here comes the Turks. That's what that means. Say hello to the Turks. Say hello to the revival of the Ottoman Empire. It's all very bleak and nightmarish. Bashar al-Assad was protecting the Christians in Syria. He was protecting the churches in Syria from these Islamist thugs and the NATOist psychopaths for decades have been saying, oh, Bashar al-Assad, he's terrible. He's an evil tyrant. He's terrible. We have to help the Syrian people overthrow him. And now what do we see? The rise of ISIS. And now ISIS is taking over Syria. They say it's not ISIS, it's HTS, it's Hayat Tahrir al-Shams. It's ISIS. It's the same damn thing. It's ISIS, it's Al-Qaeda, and they have taken over Syria. They've taken over Syria, and what that means is that Turkey is taking over Syria. So goodbye, Assad. Hello, Turkey. Say hello to the Ottomans. And I knew that this was bound to happen. I knew eventually. I've been saying it for years. We've been saying it for years. The Ottoman Empire is going to be revived. Turkey is going to pursue the control over the entirety of the Middle East. This is about reviving the Ottoman Empire. This has nothing to do with democracy or helping the Syrian people or protecting Syrian civilians from Bashar al-Assad. This is all about reviving Ottoman power, reviving Turkish power. And it's just, oh my God, it's so depressing, guys. It really is, because for so many years, the Assad regime has protected the Christian population, has protected the Alawis, the Shiites from these psychopaths. And we all saw what was happening when ISIS was in Syria. They were butchering civilians. They were butchering Christians. They were just demons, these people, demons. And now we're seeing them taking territory, taking the country. And of course, the NATOists, they're going to celebrate all this. They're already celebrating it. This is amazing. Assad has been toppled. A 50-year rule has been toppled. 50 years of tyranny has been ended. It's all been ended. This is so great. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, here it comes. And if you want to get a taste of Turkish rule, just look at what happened to the Armenians in 2020 in Nagorno-Karabakh. They were beheading people, executing people, they were murdering people, and they got away with it. And NATO was happy because, look, Armenia, an ally of Russia and Iran, was defeated by a bunch of Turkish barbarians. You can see the videos from Nagorno-Karabakh. You can see a video of an elderly man begging for his life as an Azeri soldier. An Azeri Turkish soldier slits his throat. You can see the video of an Azeri soldier beheading an Armenian. He puts his boot on the guy's chest, and two other soldiers are holding his arms back, and they put his body against a rock, and the soldier with his boot on the guy's chest begins to behead him, and all these Azeri soldiers are clapping their hands and cheering it on, cheering the beheading of this Armenian man. That's Turkey. That's Turkey. And so what can we say? Goodbye, Assad, and say hello to the Ottomans. It's all very depressing. It's all very bleak. I was hoping that Assad would have put up a fight, but I don't know. It looks like they just said, okay, Russia is Assad's biggest ally, and Russia is stuck in Ukraine. Russia is occupied with Ukraine. Russia can't spread itself thin, so Assad has lost his biggest ally. Syria has lost its biggest ally. And Iran and Hezbollah were both wounded by Israel. So Syria is weak. And so the vultures surrounded the dying animal before pouncing on it. And that's what's happening. And a lot of Israelis are happy about this because they say, oh, look, this ally of Iran has been toppled. This is so great. This is so great. Yeah. Wait until these lunatics want to come after Israel. Wait until these lunatics are right there at your border, Israel. And because Hayat Tahrir al-Shams is a Turkish proxy, well, this means that Turkey is going to control Syria. So does Israel want Turkey right next door? At least with Iran. Iran has to go through Syria. Iran's a lot farther from Israel than Turkey is. So if Turkey takes control over Syria, what's going to happen? You're going to have Turkey right there next door. And for years, the Turks have been saying what about Israel? They've been talking about going to war with Israel, invading Israel. So what is this going to lead to? We're seeing not only the revival of Ottoman power, but we are seeing the road to the next Holocaust being paved, the road to the next extermination of the Jews being paved. Because the Turks are going to be right next door to Israel, and they're not going to be as nice as Bashar al-Assad. So be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. It's depressing. It really does depress me. Because for years I was talking about Bashar al-Assad and how he was a protector of the churches, protector of the Christians, even a protector of the Jews in Syria. And I'm not sure, are there still Jews in Syria? I don't know. But I remember reading about the Syrian civil war years ago and about how the Jews were being protected. The small Jewish population was being protected in Syria by Bashar al-Assad. But apparently the Israelis don't care about that. And so I was very supportive of keeping Bashar al-Assad there. And to see the end of the Assad regime is just absolutely horrendous and gloomy and foreboding and bleak, sad, harrowing, and just depressing. It really is. This is a very depressing day for me, guys. But we all knew it was going to happen. You know, we all knew that this was inevitable and that it was bound to happen. It was going to happen because we all knew that the Turkish Empire was going to be revived. We were just all waiting for the day that it was going to really show itself. And it did begin to show itself in 2016 when Turkey sent troops into Syria. So we all knew that it was just bound to happen. And we all knew that the Turks were training these ISIS killers. And now we're seeing them. Hopefully there's going to be a turnaround, but it's quite conspicuously bleak and depressing. It's all very sad. But, you know, getting Russia provoked into attacking Ukraine, it looks like this was part of the plan. It looks like this was a plan to force Russia to spread itself out thin, to drain Russia of manpower, to occupy Russia, to keep Russia occupied in Ukraine, to keep Russia busy with Ukraine, so that the Turks could have an opportunity to invade Syria even further through its terrorist proxies. And then also what happened back in 2020 with Azerbaijan defeating Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh. Armenia is a Russian and Iranian ally. And so defeating Armenia was also a part of NATO's plan. So it's not just Ukraine. This is a transcontinental war, a transcontinental strategy. So keep Russia busy with Ukraine and then use the Turks to further expand into Syria, topple Bashar al-Assad, who is a major ally of Russia, and weaken Russia even further. And we're creating a monster. I've said this many times. America is famous for creating monsters in the name of fighting some monster who's not even as bad. Bashar al-Assad is nothing in comparison to what Turkey is going to bring. And so America is creating a Frankenstein, a Turkish Frankenstein. And Trump has this isolationist / non-interventionist position. And so Trump has said, well, who cares? We're just going to not get involved. This is not our war. Blah, blah, blah. So it's like America causes all these problems, gives arms to rebels, gives arms to terrorists, causes an entire nightmare in the name of overthrowing some dictator. And then America says it's not our war. Well, you sure as hell did a lot to cause a lot of the problems. But America is saying it's not our war, so they're going to say give it to the Turks. And they're going to say, Turkey, this is your war. Just like the Americans are going to tell the Germans, Germany, you guys deal with Ukraine. You guys deal with all of the problems in Eastern Europe. And America is going to put its focus on China. And so, yeah, goodbye, Assad. Say hello to the Ottoman Empire. And that's it. It's all very depressing. It's all very sad. And expect to see Christians being killed. Expect to see Christians being persecuted by these Islamist thugs. And I thought Israel was supposed to be at the front line of fighting terrorism. Apparently, Israel is very happy about this. Very happy about Assad being overthrown because Assad is an ally of Iran. Well, say hello to the Turks, Israel. Be careful what you wish for. Anyway, you guys just heard some theology. God bless.